Okay, so before we define our project, actually, I want to lay out our milestones. And our milestones are quite often determined by the length of the project and how long we want to work on one particular sort of system or one target, a milestone target. So that might be, the combat system or melee combat or range combat or the UI, those kind of things. We've got kind of limited time, so you can do them 2-week milestones, which would be a bit close. You could do 6 weeks. 4 seems about right for this small project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another row in here. So right click and insert a row, and within that row I'm going to define a 4-week period. So I'm going to select 4 cells, merge them together, and just call that MS-1, which basically stands for milestone 1. Let's make a border around that. Because all milestones are exactly the same period, I can now drag out that box to the end of the project. Okay, so we've got a shorter period at the end, but that's fine. But there you go, we've just defined how many milestones we're going to have in our project. So it's going to be 6. These back end ones are probably going to be like alpha and beta and whatnot. So we'll go back to the front end. And the first milestone is going to be all about defining our project. One other thing I'm going to add before I do this is, as we progress along, it's really important to keep our game builds stable. If we didn't do that, if we just worked and worked and worked the whole time, at the back end we're just going to have so many bugs and so much work to do. It's almost going to be overwhelming, and we're going to compromise the stability of our builds as we're delivering them to our publisher. And if they get crashy builds, they're really not going to be happy. So the 4th week of every milestone is going to be a quality assurance week. So I'm going to merge those cells together in the last week, and I'm just going to call that QA for the moment. I'm also going to select everything and center it. I like things centered. So center there and center vertically. I say that, but I like everything other than these names centered. And I'll just give that a bit of a grey colour, just so it separates it from everything. So I'm going to copy and paste that onto the last week of each one of the milestones. Okay, and the last milestone. In this last period here, this is going to be our beta or our lock-off period, where all we're doing is smashing out those bugs and getting rid of them. So you notice when I click merge center again, when I've already had a merge cell, that it separates it back into individual cells. This is just a quick way if you want to add more cells to it. So I can merge that again, and it's taken that whole period. Let's put a border around it. So again, unmerge creates all different cells. I could merge all different little parts of it, but really I want that as one big block of time where we're just locking the game down and fixing everything. So yeah, that's just quickly defined all the quality assurance periods for our project. Okay, now I'll go on to project definition.